Welcome to another edition of Mission Bank Memories as we celebrate 25 seasons of Condors hockey here in downtown Bakersfield. And Ryan Holt joined by one of the original Condors, Jason Reesor. And you go back to 98, 99, 2000, kind of the early stages of Condorstown. And you were one of those guys that came out here to Bakersfield to play for the Condors early on in your career. What were kind of your thoughts about coming to California and coming here to Bakersfield?
Yeah, well, growing up in Ontario, California is kind of a far-off place, which I was definitely intrigued by, and we got an opportunity. Paul Rosebush and I both played in college together at Guelph, and so we got an opportunity to come out here, and we kind of packed up our junker cars and headed west. Before cell phones and maps, stuff like that. So it was quite an adventure, and yeah, pleasantly surprised. A little bit of hockey and palm trees and combined was a lot nicer than an Ontario hockey season.
and I mean, you kind of mentioned that relationship with Paul Rosebush and throughout the years. I mean, not only guys you played with, but guys that have played since. You guys have had a nice alumni connection. What's that been like to continue that connection? Here into we're into 25 years of Condors hockey and now almost 3 decades of Condors hockey, and here we are with dozens of alumni here in town, or at least, in California, and able to connect with them throughout the years.
Yeah, that's been great. The Condors have always been really classy about the way they treated ex-players and stuff like that. Obviously, I have a different kind of relationship with the guys I played with, Mearsy and, Rosie, those guys, and Jamie Cook. There's some guys that are still around. The whole group has been great. We get to play, and I don't know if we call it playing. It's kind of lackluster hockey when we get together, but it's a lot of fun,
And what have you done post-career? Because it's an interesting career path for you as well, too, especially being an ex-hockey player in the profession that you're in now.
Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of a long road, but I went back to school when I was around about 30 with a wife that was 9 months pregnant and a little bit distraught with the decision, but it all worked out, and so I've been practicing dentistry for about 8 years now. I have my own practice down in Rancho Bernardo, living in Carlsbad, and couple of teenagers. Life's cruising along. Busy but good.
And, you must get the question. From clients or from people who, come into the office. You're a former professional hockey player, and now you're a dentist. That's 2 things that kind of go hand in hand here.
Yeah, totally. Hockey players obviously renowned for losing teeth. I'm one of those ones that didn't lose my teeth. I kind of tell people my nose got in the way most of the time. Broke it a few times, and I have my share of stitches on my face, but my teeth are all mine. So it's a good conversation starter for sure.
When you look back at the early days and you kind of think about your career in Condorstown, what's maybe a memory or two that kind of pop in your head of things that you've taken with you since your playing days?
Well, I think the story that often comes to mind about playing in Bakersfield was just the crowd. Like when we were here the first couple of years, and obviously they've had some great crowds throughout the years. The fans here are great, but it was an electric atmosphere. We had an announcer that had a deep kind of raspy, a voice that kind of got things done, and some AC/DC to come out to. Like it was quite a place to play. Yeah.
In those early days as well, too. Hockey was so foreign or new, at least, to the city and to the market. You guys were kind of rock stars back then as well, too, just being here in Bakersfield and being from all over. The city hadn't really had that from any, at least hockey organization.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a new thing, and people, were very receptive to it. It's a great game. It's a great game live. When people haven't seen it before, that's always my explanation is, hey, go watch it live because it's fast and it's rough, and there's lots of skill out there. So the people here took to it well, and yeah, it was a great place to play for that reason.
So when you showed up in 98, 99 in your junker cars, as you recall, with Rosie, did you ever think that it would become what it is today? It's a new lease that was signed earlier this week. Going to take us into 3 decades of Condors hockey, AHL here in Bakersfield, going on to Edmonton. Did you ever think it would become what it is today?
When I came out here, prior to being here, no, I definitely didn't think that. I was like, where am I going? What am I getting myself into here? But, like I said, it's been a classy organization right from the start. And, Matt Riley he took good care of us. And I think he's kind of still taking care of things here. Everybody's, pulling in the right direction, which I think they've always done. I'm impressed by what they're doing, and it's nice that it's moved up, up a level and getting some real good players in here these days.
One final one. How much pride maybe do you take, your career took you to, Fort Worth, Texas, took you, elsewhere around this country, but how much pride do you have in saying that, you were one of the originals, you were one of the Condors and one of the OGs here in Bakersfield and from what it is then to what it is today?
Yeah, like I said, it's something that the team's always treated me well. The fans were great here, and that's one of the biggest things about it. It's not like that everywhere. It's not always a fun place to play. Sometimes sometimes you don't get the same kind of support, but it was a great experience, and I'm thankful for it.
Jason, we appreciate the time. Thanks for coming back, and look forward to seeing you at the rink.
All right, sounds great.
It's been another edition of Mission Bank Memories. For more with Reese and the rest of the Condors alums, you can head to our YouTube page, condors.tv. I'm Ryan Holt. Catch you next time.